The K-pop group Echoes had finally landed a deal to record their debut album. Their management had booked a brand new rehearsal space for them, supposedly built on the ruins of an old concert hall that had burned down decades ago. The building was sleek, modern, and equipped with top-tier recording gear, but there was something off about it. At first, the five members, Rina, the leader and vocalist, Haruka, the guitarist, Min, the keyboardist, Il, the drummer, and Ju, the bassist, laughed off the rumors. Who cared if the place had history? All that mattered was the music. All right, let's run through Midnight Echo, Rina called out, adjusting her mic stand. Haruka smirked, strumming a chord. I swear, if this place is haunted, at least let the ghosts have good taste in music. Il twirled his drumsticks. What, like a ghostly audience? That'd be kinda sick. Ju rolled his eyes. Sure, as long as they don't start requesting ballads. They launched into the song, the polished sound of their instruments filling the space. But something was off. At first it was subtle. Min's keyboard seemed to lag behind the tempo, despite his fingers moving at the right speed. Then Il's drum beats echoed strangely, as if the sound were bouncing off invisible walls. Then the real horror began. As they reached the bridge of the song, Rina's microphone cut out entirely. Static crackled through the speakers. And then, instead of silence, a distorted voice whispered through the system. You cannot leave. We've been waiting for you. The air in the studio dropped several degrees. Min's fingers froze above the keys. Haruka instinctively stepped back from his guitar. What the hell was that? Ju asked, looking around. Before anyone could respond, Il's drumsticks suddenly moved on their own, beating out an eerie, off-rhythm pattern. His face went pale. Guys, that wasn't me. A low hum filled the room, and then the lights flickered. The fluorescent glow turned a sickly shade of green before dimming entirely. Then the instruments started playing by themselves. Min's keyboard rattled as eerie, dissonant notes spilled from it. Haruka's guitar released a deep, wailing chord, though his hands weren't on the strings. The bass vibrated ominously, and then the shadows moved. Figures began to take shape in the dim light. Tall, faceless, holding instruments that looked warped and decayed. They hovered around the band, their presence suffocating. Rina swallowed hard, forcing herself to stay calm. All right, if this is some elaborate prank, it's not funny. The figures stepped closer. Play! It wasn't a request. Haruka backed against the wall, gripping his guitar like a weapon. Oh, hell no! I did not sign up for a cursed jam session. Ju raised his hands. What if we just leave? The door slammed shut. The locks clicked into place. Min exhaled sharply. I guess that's a no. Rina tightened her grip on the microphone. If they couldn't run, maybe they had to play along. Fine, she said. You want music? You got it. She strummed her guitar. The ghosts twitched, their heads tilting unnaturally. The air thickened, but they didn't stop moving toward the band. Haruka took the cue and joined in, plucking out a melody. Il hesitated, then tapped out a rhythm. Min pressed a key. The spectral figures froze. Then slowly they started to sway. Rina's heart pounded. They're reacting to the music. She took a deep breath and began to sing. Her voice wove through the air, cutting through the tension. The others followed, harmonizing instinctively. And then something incredible happened. The ghosts began to fade. Their outlines wavered, like smoke in the wind. The music seemed to unravel whatever force held them together. Then, the lights exploded. Sparks rained down as the studio plunged into total darkness. The music stopped. Silence. Then a whisper. Not enough. A sudden force slammed into Ill's drum set, sending the cymbals crashing. The keyboard screeched. The bass strings snapped. Haruka's guitar flew from his hands, hitting the ground with a discordant clang. The ghosts weren't gone. They were angrier. Min stumbled back. Okay, bad idea. Bad idea, Ju cursed under his breath. So what do we do now, fearless leader? Rina's mind raced. If music had an effect on them, maybe they just needed the right song. Haruka, she said, your solo track, the one with the weird chord progressions. Haruka's eyes widened. You mean Resonance? The one that... Just play it. Haruka grabbed his guitar and struck the first chord. The sound reverberated through the studio like a shockwave. The ghosts twitched, their forms glitching. The band joined in. This time the music was raw, powerful, a mix of defiance and chaos. The walls of the studio shook. The spectral figures screamed, their forms warping like static on a broken TV. Rina stepped forward, pouring everything into the final note. The ghost shattered. A gust of wind rushed through the studio. The lights flickered back on. The instruments went still. The air returned to normal. For a long moment, no one moved. Then Haruka laughed, a nervous, relieved sound. So, does this count as our first horror concept album? Ill groaned, rubbing his temples. I need, 10 days off. Ju dusted himself off. I say we never come back here. Min exhaled, shaking his head. Or we charge our management extra for ghost exorcisms. Rina smirked, picking up her mic. Or, they all looked at her. We make this part of our concept. Silence. Then Haruka grinned. Echoes, the haunted tour. Ju sighed. We are so doomed. But Rina just smiled, because deep in the shadows a whisper lingered. We will be watching.